Waiting for a couple people to join here. I have not looked at the Triple R yet, by the way. I've seen people talking about it, but I have not looked at it on purpose. I have been waiting for this stream, so welcome in, guys. Welcome in, everybody. I have not looked at the Triple R. I'm gonna look at it in about a couple minutes here, not too long. One second, guys. I still have not seen it, so this is gonna be my live reaction completely. I see your guys' comments. How are you guys doing? North of St. Louis. I'll be somewhere around there tomorrow. That's kind of my thoughts currently. Thank you all for joining in. I'm not doing too bad. I'm ready for some chasing again, that's for sure. All right, let's see. Huh. It's gonna be some big hail in Illinois tomorrow. Illinois and Iowa areas somewhere. I'm still just waiting around, guys. I'm not gonna. I've actually, if I had my new car, I probably would be trying Wednesday, but I don't think I'm gonna roll all the way that far east. I'm gonna wait till a couple more people get in, and then I'll go look at the live reaction of the HRRR. All I need to see is the dew points first. Welcome in. All right, let's get looking at this thing. I have not looked at it. Wow, that orientation is quite good actually, unless it crashes. No, that's some good orientation for this front. Oh my. But it's moving south. I'm a little worried by that actually. Anyways, let's go look at some of the photographs here. Wow, it's quite a lot of cape. Look at that amount of cape. Yeesh. Yeah, this is like, are we in June? Like, that's a lot of cape. Oh my, that is quite a photograph. And look at this. 76 over almost 70. We're going almost 70-degree dew points. I don't really love those wind barbs, though. I will say that. That is a like insane amount of cape, and then that's also an insane amount of 3 cape. Wow, that's quite the sounding. We just need something to fire up. That's the only issue right now, which I'm not looking at. Wow, there's a little bulge even on that thing. Let's see what this one looks like. No. Oh, there must be a storm. All right, I'll finally look at the reflectivity. Nothing east. Wow, that's early actually. Interesting. That's different than a lot of the other solutions it's shown. Hold on one second. We're gonna click down a little bit here. It's a lot further north too. It's hard to get a good sounding out of that. Let's go try to find a better sounding here. Yeah, this is absolutely insane how much moisture and instability we're gonna get for this time of year. Definitely not as impressive as the later on photographs further west. This is the 0Z run right now. I'm just looking at the brand new one. It's just rolling this one supercell across. Oh my, there you go. to the west. But man, this is at 7 o'clock. I mean, I'd like to see this initiation, but that's the area you're going to want it to be in. That is definitely south of the front too. Look at that. That is quite um, a concerning look right now. But I mean, we're still looking at nighttime initiation, and that's not going to be overly good for well, chasing, but this is going to be insane for tornadoes. I do think that we will have a very large supercell, and we'll have a very um, large chance of significant tornadoes. But as you guys can see, we got no convection, and then we hit 7 o'clock, and this thing's really firing up. That's a very, very primed environment. Your warm front setting right here, and you've got your storm firing to the south of it, which is major. And it does get a little linear though, so that's another thing to watch is if we can get if it ends up being a little bit messy. It's a little bit of an interesting. That's hail, but yeah, that is your area right there at 7 o'clock, kind of in that west central Illinois area. But that's quite late. That'll be dark by then for sure. But it will have a good chance of continuing on through the night as long as it doesn't get too messy. Which I don't know. It looks like it's going to get a little messy. This looks very intriguing as well, but I feel like this could also be very much north of the front. Let's see. It's pretty much along it. It looks like it's moving fairly due east as well, so it shouldn't be too big of a deal on that part of it. Let's see what the motion is. Oh yeah, it's moving southeast almost, so that would be probably surface based to an extent at least, as it just rides along that warm front later in the evening, so or later in the afternoon. This is only 3 o'clock, by the way. That's very early still. Yeah, it's crazy to see that one fire up and then nothing later on. Just that little shortwave seems to want to fire up a lot earlier than this actual warm front boundary. I'm really just surprised the triple point doesn't want to fire up super early. A lot of times you got so much forcing with that cold front and the warm front intersection. Honestly, I don't know the peak time. It's kind of up in the air by a lot. It could very easily be 4 p.m. It could be 7 p.m. So anytime between 4 and 7 is when it's going to really start to initiate. And then within an hour or two of initiation will be like that kind of peak period. But the Cape's so strong tomorrow that these storms will become fairly significant fairly quickly. So that's another thing to take a note of, that we're going to have strong storms pretty much within the 30-40 minutes that it actually starts off. So that's definitely one thing to keep note of. Yeah, you want to be early, and we hope that the storms are early for us for sure. Because either way, I mean, these storms are going to be destructive for the people around. It's a lot better if they happen in the daytime, so we can actually prepare and see stuff. A lot better than them happen at night. So those low-level lapse rates are quite decent. I mean, they're not 8, but they're very close to 8. Lots of 3 Cape, lots and lots of Cape. That's incredible. 71-degree dew points. I mean, there's a slight capping, which is why it's not firing. These photographs are quite impressive too. We got a lot of SRH in the low levels, and these wind barbs. I have that bottom portion because of it being kind of weird. But anyways, yeah, we have a lot of SRH. 38 knots storm motion. That's a little high, but it's manageable. It'll be manageable. But you see then the storms start to fire right after that, right in that region. Just is that northwest of Peoria? I really hope it isn't, but I think it definitely is. I'll go switch to the Omega models. This will be a lot easier. 1 second. And 3, 2, 1, boom. Switching to Radar Omega really quick. If you guys already don't have the app, make sure to click the link in the description. Yeah, I know. I'll probably see you out there somewhere. I'll be around. Let's see. Get to the right portion here. Make something fire up. Seems like everything's quite north of St. Louis, honestly. Oh boy. Watch this next run. It does look like it wants to go linear really fast, so that's definitely a fail mode for tornadoes at least tomorrow. I just really can't imagine we don't get some storms to fire a little bit earlier, but it could just be something. I don't know, I need to go look at some other stuff here. Like, what's causing it not to fire? Yeah, that stupid Illinois River's not gonna be fun at all. Oh my gosh, almost at lapse rates of 9 down there. That's ridiculously high. That's just because the dew point spread's so different too. Let's check the upper air a little bit. Not the upper air, this one. Well, there you go. You got your trough here. Oh, yeah, look at that. I know, that's what I was hoping for a little bit too. definitely going to be a pain with how many people are probably going to be out. Looks like our forcing's pretty much there. 8:50 to arrive. It's pretty much there by about 3 to 4. Yeah, it's right there about 2, 3. Oh, yeah, it's just that little extra shortwave just comes through a little too early. I don't know, it's coming through about that time though. The only issue is we got a little bit of capping, residual capping. I think that's our main issue right now. And if that can continue to stay for too long, it's gonna be after dark, which could very well happen, and I'll still be out there somewhere. But it'd be much, much, much better if we get something to fire before dark. See, the problem is right now that it looks like it becomes a cold front and it crashes down, and that's why we get so many storms of fire and it to be a lot more messy. So I don't love this look of this HRRR right now. It's a little bit, it's definitely not conducive for as many tornadoes as some of the other models have been showing and the other runs. So we'll have to see what happens. Well, we'll see what happens. I want to see what these other models show, but I probably won't be live streaming for that long. But we'll look at them as they start to load. We'll start looking at some of the older model runs here. And it feels like the HRRR is way further north than it had been, which is interesting. See, now this is still about the same time. I don't know. I've got a bad feeling these storms are gonna form at like 6 o'clock at best. And it's gonna be tough. We're gonna have a lot of chasers there and it's gonna be late. I don't know. I worry a lot about the overall extent of how many chasers and especially if it fires up late. This one fires up at 3 and it moves across, which is interesting. That's like almost not even a supercell. It's more like a linear kind of blob. Yeah, I know. I'm looking at everything right now just to see it. Impasse. Similar thing. It's showing that further east initiation. It shows a couple supercells later on in the evening, but they're a little far west comparative to that better environment to the east. And look, that one's pretty conducive right here. This is at 4 o'clock. A lot of these models, the models are either showing 4 o'clock or they're showing 8 o'clock or 6 o'clock. So, I mean, we're kind of looking at a huge spread of even timing, which is just not what you want to see this time at a severe weather event. It's just so hard to actually forecast anything. That thing's moving slow on this model. Look at that. Showing early initiation as well. I mean, we're just looking at so much spread right now, and it's just really hard to make any choices yet on severe weather potential. Oh, there you go. This one's firing up all the way to the west. Yeah, helped to pay for the gas. Yeah, shoot. I don't know. It's good. It's still hard. I have no idea where to go yet, and it's really right now. I'm kind of thinking between two different areas. I'm gonna go switch over back to Omega because I can write on the screen. I'm currently thinking. Let me go switch to the better view so you can see the warm front. Let's do super sound composite. Should be a little bit of a better view. So this is for 6 p.m., 5 p.m. Okay, perfect. We'll do 5 p.m. Currently, I'm thinking it's either going to be this region, somewhere around this kind of area. Actually, I probably should do a little bit of a better of a circle. Let me make sure you guys are seeing it. Yeah, you guys can see as well. I'm either thinking somewhere around there, or I'm thinking somewhere around this region. I think the warm front orientation over here is just a little bit worse for tornado potential. I think your northeasterly kind of faced or east more flat warm fronts can be a lot better for tornadoes to latch on and produce a bunch of tornadoes. Exactly. I'm going to sit somewhere in the middle, I'm thinking. I'm thinking either Galesburg or Peoria, and I'll be there pretty early just to see what happens. And, if something looks like it's going to happen over here, I'll blast west. Something happens over here, I'll try to, track along the interstate to Bloomington and up north. But we'll see what happens. I'm thinking either Galesburg, Peoria, or maybe Bloomington to set early. I don't really want to go all the way that east right away because that really does take away from my opportunities if something does want to happen along this part of the warm front. Because really, your best environment is right here. This is getting really messy now. Let me clear this really quick. But yeah, we're really starting to look at our best environment is around this area, and it has been for a while. The problem is we're going to have probably 7 p.m. initiation, and that really starts to become an issue for chaseability. But really, over here, it keeps wanting to fire something around 4 p.m. So we're kind of You know, you could always start this one and then go back to that one. I don't know. I'm trying to think of different ways to do this. I have not decided anything, that's for sure. I'll make my decision in the morning. I'm gonna go east a couple hours and just kind of decide. I'll probably go, like I said, to Galesburg or Burlington area. I'm starting from Centerville, Iowa, so I'm gonna just head east, and then I'll head east a little more if I need to, and then if I need to even more, I'll start in Peoria. It'll be one of these three areas, depending on what the morning observations look like, where our clearing ends up setting up. Actually, it's probably almost better to look for the cloud cover this time, because we're actually kind of looking for a little more cloud cover to help make sure that it doesn't overheat the lower portion of the atmosphere, because which our dew points are 70 degrees. So actually, we probably want better surface heating to actually get to the convective temperatures and make it easier for storms to fire up. So it's kind of a slippery slope on this one, but I don't know. This warm front slash cold front kind of thing, it's weird. It does have the cold front crashing after like 8 o'clock, and that's where we get our more linear system looking kind of thing on this day. I just don't know. There's a lot of stuff that can still happen with this threat. We've got still plenty of hours for stuff to change completely. And you know all those cam models are going to look completely different from each other when they load in the next couple hours now. The HRRR, I would say, didn't look overly conducive for storm chasing. That is one thing I will say with certainty. It doesn't help me make any decisions. That's one thing without a doubt. Hasn't changed my planning so far. I didn't really think it would. A lot of times zero Z is either absolutely insane or it's completely underwhelming for like severe potential. So we got the more underwhelming look. It's never really like I guess this one's somewhat neutral, but you don't usually get like a neutral sounding or neutral model run at the zero Z. It's usually insane or nothing. And I don't know. I'm thinking around I-80 as well. I do think it'll be further north than it had been looking, but I don't think it's gonna be super far north. When we get to like maybe even like up to Rockford area, I don't think it's gonna get that far. I think you're gonna set up right along 80, and I think your storms are gonna fire maybe just to the south, right along this. I don't know. A lot of the chase terrain around this region is pretty solid, other than the like Peoria trap that is the Illinois River. That is. Let's go see if we can find it if it has it on here. No, it doesn't. It's hard to see it at least. There's a cold front tried firing. Yeah, if the cold front triple point setup tries to fire, I would say that we are looking for a pretty decent chance over here. The only thing I am noticing, like I mentioned before, is the orientation over there is just a little bit weird, and I don't think you're going to have quite as good of low-level photographs. Let me go back to the HRRR. My favorite run for the HRRR, which this is going to be stupid because it's so close to the event, is always like the 17Z. That's kind of like where I really get my bearing on a storm, and you can finally kind of see the last couple things that are going to happen. So mine's usually the 17Z, but I really like to see the 6Z is usually one if I'm up still, I like to look at it. And it usually tends to be okay. But I would say like 17Z the day of is really when you get your best model run. I don't know, we'll see. I'm thinking we're definitely gonna have some beautiful sculpted supercells, especially if at night we get the potential to realize and we start getting some just super photogenic storms. This western threat, I don't know. I just think the orientation of it, you're not gonna have quite backed winds. I mean, let me go look at. Let's go look at wind barbs and dew point map. Yeah, so you've got a lot of veered winds on this dew point map here, which I mean, I guess it looks like that all through here, just because you don't get close enough resolution to actually. Let me go to the better wind barb map if I can find it. Crossover map. That's what I want to see. Yeah, there's not really that much backed except for over here, so I don't know. I don't love these wind barbs. You usually want to see them facing out from the southeast, and I don't really like the look of it right this second. Yeah, exactly. I have nothing to do tomorrow. I'm on spring break, so I am completely open right now. I may as well go. There's no reason for me not to go. Honestly, yeah, Peoria is a great place right now. I would really, really appreciate if it doesn't end up being in Peoria because if you guys don't know, Peoria is a pain to chase. Let me go show you guys a map really quick. Google Maps. Hold on one second. I'm getting it pulled up first before I show you guys. Yeah, the entire Illinois River is just a massive pain. Guys, I set up I think it's the Target thing. If it hits 5 donations, it could be $1 even. I will give away 5 memberships. So if you guys want to hopefully have the potential to become a member, even $1 works. So I was going to mention that to you guys. Let's see. There's a couple river crossings, but man, it's just a pain to get past this. All right, here we are on Google Maps now. And man, just look at this thing. A lot of these areas, you don't have too much. Like you see, looks good, good. And then trees and trees and trees. And it's like trees, river, and then you're fine. But look at Peoria. When you get to Peoria, everywhere around Peoria is painful. I mean, you're looking at this big of a circle, like all the way down through here. Once you get anywhere south, and then you've got this circle, and that's like, I don't have a tape measure tool, unless there is one. I don't think there is one. Hey, there's one. I appreciate that. Thanks, CJ. I'll see you tomorrow. I'm pretty sure we'll probably cross paths at some point tomorrow. Anyways, back to what I was saying. You just look at this big blob of just trees and mess. A lot of this is really painful to chase. Yeah, man. And look how thick the river is. And if you guys can see, there's a river crossing there. 1, 2, 3, 4. And a lot of these are actually through. Oh, right click. Oh, okay. Thank you. Yeah, measure distance. Perfect. Thank you for that. That's actually really helpful. Perfect. That's 26 miles of like poor terrain. That's almost half an hour of driving. Plus, this is driving through downtown Peoria unless you go on 74, which it's fairly quick to get across 74. Still just a massive pain. But yeah, thank you guys all for tuning in. We got almost 30 people here. But just look at this, guys. I mean, this is not something you want to be chasing on. You got a little bit of a mini delta region. I love the mini fake deltas. They're always so fun, especially along the Mississippi. It's just look at that thing. You got this little flatlands right along the river. Oh, this one, sorry. Decent terrain areas, but yeah, just look at this. Everywhere around Peoria is just a pain. But once you get past it, some of the best terrain in the entire country. This is Bloomington area, southeast, northeast of Bloomington. This region right here is probably one of my favorite areas in the entire country. This northwest Iowa and where I was at in north central Kansas yesterday or last week are probably my favorite areas. This place is beautiful. You've got flat terrain, you've got good road connections, you got good data, which for some reason, I don't know. All this area is great. Northwest Iowa is fantastic. If you guys have never chased up near like Fort Dodge and west of there, like this area is beautiful for flat, wide open roads, and then everything east of Bloomington is just fantastic. I mean, you could be chasing 30-mile-per-hour storms and you're going to be perfectly fine, 40, 50 mile per hour, because a lot of these roads are like paved construction roads, and you can just look at that. I think that's a paved road right there. Yeah, this one's paved. You guys can see that. This is gravel, but it's just a random, a regular, like one of these off highways. I think I was actually on that highway, and you can just see it's just a perfectly paved road. Other than like a couple rivers and a couple lakes throughout, you've got just perfect terrain throughout the entire thing. Honestly, I would say I would give it about a 20% chance of storms before dark, and that's might be generous. I'm talking about west of Peoria and stuff. Like I'm talking about like this area, the best terrain or the best environment has probably a 20% chance if I'm being 100% honest. Now, I'd say this area up here, there's been a lot of models that show it. I'd like to see a couple more that show it. The recent herd does, the HRRR does show it, so I'd give it probably a 50% or 40%. I just don't know if I want to go that far, especially when your best environment's around this area. But we'll see. Still a lot of stuff to go. Like I said, I think I'm going to set up in Galesburg or somewhere along Burlington to Galesburg or even Peoria areas, somewhere within this region tomorrow by about noon or so. Yeah, good to see you in here, CJ. I'll see you tomorrow, hopefully. Good luck on your chase if we don't end up crossing paths. But yeah, thanks for tuning in as always. But yeah, thinking Galesburg, Burlington, or Peoria. One of those three areas right now, and we'll see what happens. Who knows? A lot of things can happen. We're going to look at the SPC map now. As you can see, a large 10% risk for a lot of the region. Actually, we're going to go back to Omega because I think it's going to be a lot better for Q. Omega gives me a zoom in function, so I'd rather use it. I'm going to zoom out. I'm going to go put on a really far away radar. It's my favorite way to showcase a lot of stuff sometimes. Data overlays, severe weather. We're going to do tornado potential. As you guys can see, we got a large 10% risk, 10% significant risk for a large portion of this region. As you can see, like I said, I want to set up in Burlington area. That's about what they show as the western extent, and then all the way over to almost Rochester, Indiana, and that's a long ways. That's quite a few. It's quite a large. Let's go measure. I know on this I can get a quick measurement. Oh, oh, I got a drag. Whoops, been a while since I used the tool. That's almost 300 miles across, and large region of tornado potential tomorrow, and it's about 100 miles wide. So that's a large region of tornado potential tomorrow across a large portion of central Illinois, all of central Illinois, really. And SIG 2, yeah, I actually do think we will see. I almost guarantee, I never can guarantee anything weather, but if I was betting on it, I'd give it about a 90% chance of us seeing a double significant hail risk for the first time ever in both Texas and Illinois tomorrow. The hail threat's like very up there with one of the bigger ones. Yeah, what's your question? But yeah, I would definitely say there's a significant hail risk, and they might go double significant. I don't think they'll do it for tornadoes, but they could. They could. I don't really think so right now, though, honestly. But as I said, your middle point's basically Peoria, and that's kind of where I'm thinking of maybe ending up at some point. I don't want to, but between Galesburg and Peoria would be okay. Joliet probably is a little too far north, but there's definitely that chance. As some of those models were showing, there's storms firing up around here. I'd say you guys have a much, much, much higher chance of some hail, because really the tornado potential won't be to realize that far north because you'll be a little too far north of the front. But Joliet could definitely have a potential for some large hail if any storms fire along. I know, fire along the warm north of the warm front, but yeah, Peoria. Ugh. I don't love Peoria at all. Well, Peoria's fine, but I don't love going to Peoria for chasing. That is one of my least favorite places. Just it's just such like it's just always unfortunate because you got such good model runs right now, and then it's just like a hard place to chase. That's a tough place to chase. That Peoria region is so much tree coverage and the river. There's 4 crossings and not too many good crossings, and I mean you're looking at a lot of chasers could be there, and that's some risk you got taken on. Overall, though, I don't know. I'm not sure what the it's gonna happen. I mean, nobody knows what's gonna happen. I really don't see a huge potential for daytime storms right now, and I'm kind of not sure how that's gonna go. I think we're gonna get hail though. This is a hailer. I don't think this is on the warm front. It's very close, but I don't think it's gonna be latched to it. It looks more like a hailer even on reflectivity here. But this could be your Joliet storm as we were talking about. Yeah, if if St. Louis gets severe weather, it will be wind. I don't really think they're going to get too much. I think they might be a little too far south until late. I think later at night, like here, let's go run through the model run. I think later at night, you guys will have a potential down in St. Louis. You know, I don't think it's going to be as significant. There's a little bit. It looks like it kind of fizzles out by then, but I think there's a small chance of some stuff happening near St. Louis, like later on. I just don't really think it's going to be overly major. I can see some damaging wind potential, though, that's for sure. A lot of areas are going to see hail potential as well, which we're going to go back and look at the SPC outlook, read through a little bit of it. Plainfield, let me go find, let's go look at some model runs for Plainfield. Oops. Let's see. Shoot, I always forget where Plainfield's at, isn't it? Somewhere up here, right? I'm not from Illinois, by the way. I am from Iowa, so yeah, I thought it was up here. Is it in the south side? West side? Where's Plainfield at? And maybe they don't have it on the map. That would make more sense. I'm assuming it's on the south side, right? Northwest of Joliet? Oh, duh. Okay, there it is. Okay, yeah. Same thing as Joliet. I'd say there's going to be some hail potential, but I don't see overly too much tornado potential because you guys will be, or I don't know if you're there, but I'm just saying, you guys will be north of the front if you guys can see that. Look how far north, actually. That's probably from the storm itself, but as you can see, well, I don't know. It's not that far north of the front, but it is still north of the front, which would limit potential for tornadoes and mostly bring about a hail risk. Oh, yeah, there you go. You can see it's starting to move south. But yeah, overall, it's gonna be a pretty major day if a lot of things are realized. I just don't know. Right now, I'm not really betting towards. Oops, I know I always do this because I have to switch back and forth. Sorry, guys. Here we go. I'll show you guys again. As you can see, 1 second, I lost it again. There's Juliet, and there's Plainfield. Plainfield is north, the south, or sorry, is north of the boundary. The boundary is south of them, so I don't really think they'll have much tornado potential overall. And now we're gonna go back to the SVC finally. Okay, there we go. All right, we're back on the SVC page, and as you guys can see, I already mentioned this. We got a 10% risk. Refresh this page really quick. Oh, there we go. All right, bimodal severe weather system. The greatest regional threat will likely be focused along the frontal boundary Tuesday afternoon and evening. Most guidance suggests a stalled cold front will advance northward as a warm front as low-level southerly flow increases within the warm conveyor belt of developing cyclone over Iowa/northern Missouri. But the exact placement and orientation of the boundary and any potential influence of cool lake breezes off Lake Michigan remain uncertain, and given the spread between the models, obviously. We've been seeing that on 0Z as well. Regardless, strong ascent over the region with ample low-level moistening and steeping mid-level apse rates will support convective environment, favorable for well-organized convection along both the warm front and southwestward along the cold front across northern Missouri and Kansas. SRH is 2 to 300. That's a lot. ML Cape of 1,500 to 2,000. It'll be higher than that. Just north and south of the boundary will support the potential for tornadoes, including strong tornadoes with any discrete supercell that can become established. So it's basically stating that any discrete supercell will have potential for a strong tornado, which is obvious because um, we've got a very potent warm front with pretty good SRH value. Well, pretty good, I should say. Very good SRH values and lots of instability along that boundary and south of it, which obviously we are looking for a storm to actually fire up to the south of it. And during the daytime hours would be the most beneficial for chasing, but it doesn't matter. We'll figure out what happens tomorrow. I plan on setting just a little bit to the east, and we'll figure it out. Hey, thanks for tuning in, guys. All right. Tornado potential will likely be greatest along the warm front, as I said, along central Illinois, 21 to 02Z UTC, which that's the same thing. I don't know why I said both. Low level SRH and service. I already said all this kind of stuff, but it says 21 to 2Z. There's your kind of window, like I mentioned before. That is approximately, I think, 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. if I remember right. Yeah, because it's 9 p.m. and then it's 4 p.m. So I said 4 to 7 would be initiation. So that's about right. What I was thinking. If you get 4 p.m. initiation tomorrow and it is actually in that region where you got your best potential for best environment, I mean, we're going to be looking at some crazy severe weather occurring tomorrow afternoon for areas northwest of Peoria. But we'll see what happens. I really don't think we're going to get storms initiate that far to the west before probably 5 or 6 p.m. I just think it's going to be late. I really do think we're going to have late initiation. I think I'll be wrong. I don't think I'll be wrong on that just because you can usually tell when models are starting to be too bullish about these storms, and a lot of times they don't change off of that. But we'll see what happens. I don't know. I think it's more of a gut feeling right now of me thinking that we're not going to get anything until dark. But I'll be over there tomorrow either way, so I'll be watching out for you guys, and I'll be live streaming on YouTube and the Radar Omega app throughout the day tomorrow. But yeah. Guys got any other questions here? I'd say Wilmington would actually be in a better position for tornadoes. It's just far enough south. That's a hard question. That is probably the hardest question. Um, I don't know. The initiation could be between 4 and 7, 8, 9 p.m. and it could be between Davenport and Joliet. I mean, who knows what's going to happen with initiation tomorrow? That whole warm front is just juiced, and I don't know. I mean, if you guys look at the dew point map, as you guys can see, I mean, we've got this juiced warm front right along this, and it could form, there could be something forming in the triple point region, which will have a little bit better forcing because of the cold front, It could happen right along this little bit of a like pooling area of dew points, and it could also form along the Indiana border if it wanted to, along a little bit of a shortwave trough that's supposed to be moving through the area. Pulaski area, I think you guys would be far enough to the west, but that could definitely change. That triple point region is the kind of the wild card here that people aren't really looking into. I just don't think it's going to initiate. I can't say for sure. Pulaski is right around this area. I don't know. Yeah, I'd say St. Louis will have a chance. Um, it'll be a linear kind of thing later on. St. Louis, sorry, I'm talking about. But yeah, Pulaski, it just depends. If you get a storm to fire, you will definitely have tornado potential. I don't think it's not gonna be as high as further east because you don't have as good a low level spin in the atmosphere. But look, that little tiny storm fires up, but doesn't really do anything. We'll see. This model run's showing a storm at 7 p.m., which gives us about 30 minutes before pitch black, just to the northwest of Peoria. Yeah, between Bloomington and Peoria is a very solid idea. I think our evening after dark thing is going to be a big potential for tornadoes. It just completely depends on if we can get anything during the day, and then that'll be the best potential for chasing. And I just don't really think we will. Personally, I just don't feel too confident about anything during the day, but I think we will get probably significant tornadoes at night, which is not good. That's worse for chasing, and also very much worse for the public because I mean you could have people asleep and also just I don't know, it's just not a good setup for chasers or the general public. Because if you get too many people out there, and I mean, we've got a lot of people chasing tonight, and you could run on some issues here. If you're new to the stream, don't forget to like and subscribe. I may give away 5 members, so keep tuning in, guys. Maybe by the end of this, I'll give away 5 members. If we hit like 40 or 50 people, I definitely will, but we'll see what happens. I don't know. Tomorrow's gonna be interesting. I'd love to see if we have 0Z models are running. Okay, the 3K is starting to run. The RRFS, the Rufus impasse is actually done to the level of like trying to get to the point where we're at right now. 3 p.m. It's firing at like 3 or 4 near Bloomington area, and you got a little storm that's moving southeast, which that would be a tornado producer for sure. Oh my, yeah, that thing's riding the warm front. Wow, that would be a significant tornado producer if you got something to actually fire along that warm front that early. That's a good idea. I'll probably watch his video. Ironically, I'll watch his video right after my thing's done in a couple minutes here. Yeah, this is an insane solution right there. We'll see what the 3K shows. I don't think it's going to show anything really. It's not going to show initiation. It's been so overcapped and too warm and everything. It doesn't even fire at night, I don't think. Yeah, it just fires some like messy blobs at night. Tomorrow's ceiling, I mean, we could have a violent tornado. I would not. Tomorrow could potentially produce like a what? The 3K is firing? Oh no, it's never mind. That's north of the warm front. It's firing little hailers. Tomorrow's ceiling is like insane. Like I think tomorrow's ceiling is quite high. We could see EF3 to EF4 strength tornado easily if we get this stuff realized along that front. I just don't know if we will. There's a big question mark in this setup. Yes, I agree. Big question mark in this setup. But yeah, if we get a couple more people on here, I will give away 5 members. So let everybody know to watch the video, and we'll see if that can happen. But don't forget to like and subscribe if you're new here. We are currently overlooking the threat for tomorrow afternoon in Illinois, southeastern Iowa, western Illinois, northeastern Missouri, all these areas. We actually might go take a peek at Texas too, but right now we're looking at the threat I will be chasing tomorrow. And currently, I don't know. I don't really know how to feel because I don't love the look for chasing, if I'm being 100% honest. FV3 is showing up pretty big for western portions of the atmosphere, but still it's a 7 o'clock. I mean, we're looking at later initiation, which I'm fine with. I will be chasing this, and I will probably have a good time just seeing some nice structure and getting these hailers. That thing would be producing tornadoes like crazy, but it'd be dark after a little while. But anyways, It's showing initiation by 6 p.m. ish, which is a fairly consensus number for a lot of these models, about 6 p.m. The HRRR was showing about 6, probably 7 p.m. I'd say, near this area. Yeah, I actually really enjoy doing these pre-chase storms. Yeah, this is one of the most potent early season environments ever because like you got super high cape values. I mean, we're in Illinois. This isn't like Oklahoma even. We got 4,000 cape on some of these models showing up. Man, these models they could stay discreet for probably an hour or two. If it forms earlier in the day when there's a lot stronger of a cap, they could stay discreet for 4 or 5 hours. I mean, we're looking at if you get something to really fire up by 4 p.m. east of this, you could really, really, really like that thing could just grind along that warm front for multiple hours and produce numerous tornadoes. One supercell produced numerous tornadoes. It just really depends on what time these storms fire and where they fire. If they fire north of the front, you're not going to get anything really. Large hail though, that's for sure. But I don't know. There's a lot of things we can still pick apart on this threat. Nothing at all is for certain yet. Yeah, 2026 is starting out like crazy. Yes, definitely. You want to have an emergency plan if you live in the area because this could be a major threat or it could be nothing. I mean, that's how a lot of super weather is. But again, like always, you never know. You always want to be prepared for whatever could happen. Let's see what the RAP is showing. It's showing quite an impressive environment as well. It's showing storms initiating by 21Z, which it's not a very good model at showing initiation. But yeah, look at this. We've got quite a potent environment here, and we got 7.2 degree um, lapse rates, and that's quite good. And this is a very solid photograph. Lots slower storm motions, which is intriguing. 73 over 69, which is incredible for this time of year. That will be fairly saturated is the only thing. It'll be a little hard for chasers to see what's going on. You do have good venting, so you are going to have fairly well vented storms. Not incredible venting, but it's not the worst ever. But look at this wind barb pattern. This is a beautiful set of wind barbs up here. Let me go look at the wind barb map because I know I'm going to like the look of that. That's one of my favorite things to look at, these crossover maps, because they really show you where those backed winds are. Oh my gosh. Yeah, look right here. You got this backed winds. A lot of these other areas aren't showing it, but this is where you'd want to set for sure. Between here and here, because these backed winds are what you're looking for on a lot of these soundings. Because a lot of events that fail do tend to not have backed, like these backed winds that can really help get the low level spin to be a lot higher. 75 over 70 is ridiculous this time of year. 4,300 cape, and this is the wrap. Wow. That's insane. That's absolutely insane. These are going to be huge, violent supercells that could be producing tornadoes if they're south of the warm front and can take advantage of it. But that's the big if right now, and if they fire early enough. A lot of ifs. Lots and lots of ifs right now. The CLP, which is one of these like weather model things, is showing a 15% risk for tornadoes over this portion right here, which is a little far south, obviously. But it's showing a 15% risk with 45% risk of significant hail. Almost 50% is the max, and then you've got a 30% significant risk of wind. But yeah, it's showing a very high potential for hail and definitely tornadoes throughout a large portion. We have 45 people, guys. Thank you all for tuning in. I might be giving away 5 memberships. If we get 5 more people, there's a chance I'll give away 5 memberships to you guys. We're getting close to 50 people. That's crazy. Yes, exactly. There will still be the potential for significant hail, up to baseball-sized hail, even with storms north of the warm front. So it's not all about tornadoes tomorrow. We could have very significant hail throughout a large portion of central Illinois. And there's a lot of cities in that region, and these hail events can really, really, really cause havoc throughout these cities. And I mean, think about how many cars are parked out on the street, and especially if it happens during the afternoon. I mean, you've got millions and billions of dollars that could be at stake with these hail events, skyscrapers, everything. And it just, people don't realize that hail is just, I mean, it can do just as much or more damage than tornadoes sometimes. 54 people, guys, that's incredible. That's the most I've ever had on one of these. I'm definitely giving away 5 members. So if you're on the chat, I would recommend saying a couple things right now, like send a message because it does the memberships do tend to go to people that do interact more. So if you want to get included, I'm going to send out 5 memberships in like a minute or two. So if you guys want to be included on that, just say some stuff quick because that's the best way to actually get put into the running for that. So that's crazy. 56 people. Thank you all. Yeah, just say a little bit and then you should actually have a chance. Thank you. I actually have a new video coming out fairly soon. I'm not done with it. I need to take the later part of this week and I'll finish that video up because I have spring break. After this chase thing, I'll have plenty of time to work on some video work. That's what I'm sorry. I just saw that comment about how's it doing. I'm getting along on it. See what happens. You know, it's not very far along, but I will do it quick when I like start working on it. But yeah, we've got a pretty significant environment. All right, Wednesday's threat. I'll look into Wednesday's threat just a little bit. We're gonna go look at that really quick. Actually, in a second, I'll give you guys like 30 more seconds, and then I'll send out those new members, the free members. So look at Wednesday. Looks quite messy. Oh my. HRRR0Z shows completely washed out for Wednesday. Yeah, so Wednesday looks to be gone on the HRRR. Yeah, it does no destabilization whatsoever. So Wednesday may be gone for the most part. It could easily come back, but I don't know. Right now, it looks like a lot of morning convection. Yeah, look at that. You get morning convection till 10, 11 a.m. and a lot of cloud cover. All right, I am giving away these 5 memberships right now. So if you want to make one last little push, you got a couple seconds left. All right, I'm gonna click the button, guys. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. There you go, guys. Hey, I still may give 5 more away if we get enough people. So definitely don't don't worry if you didn't get that first round. We still have another round that might be coming. I might do it. We got a lot of people on this stream. I've never had this many on a coverage stream, so there's maybe a chance. So I would keep commenting if you're in this chat. But anyway, sorry guys. I'll go back to what I was saying. I definitely would say we've got potential for around. I think we could see initiation at 6. I think 5 or 6 is possible. I think your cap will erode tomorrow. We need to see that shortwave actually come in here and initiate storms. Because I mean, we've got a little bit of capping, but that's not enough to do anything to completely negate potential. But look at this. We've got that warm nose gone. That's quite saturated, man, guys. This is gonna be a saturated, probably higher precipitation day. That's a very weak cap. I mean, 27 cent H is quite low. That's definitely breakable. You just need a nice forcing mechanism. Yes, this is all Central Time. I would like to. That's a good question actually. All of it's in Central Time. Let me zoom into Illinois. Then you guys can actually see the PM. So this is 6 p.m. and then a 7 p.m. right here near Galesburg. This is where I'm going to be setting. So if this actually happens, I'd be content with that 7 p.m. I know, that's what I'm saying. 4 p.m. we really will have a chance of initiation. The Cape is just ridiculous. I 100% agree. I can't get over that either. For March, this is early March and it's in the Midwest. This isn't like late May in the Midwest or late May or even early March in Oklahoma. This is early March in Illinois, in Iowa, in Nebraska. Like this is insane. I know that the system seems to be moving in and giving us those height falls and everything. And I think we're gonna get a chance of initiation around after 4. I'll be getting nervous though. I know I'll be sitting there and I'll be like, oh boy, here we go. Is something gonna fire or not? I don't know. We will get storms tomorrow. I will probably almost guarantee that, and we will get probably quite intense storms tomorrow around this area right here. It just depends on if it's 4 or 8 p.m. You know, one of the two, in between the two. The earlier the better for a lot of reasons. Makes it easier for people to be prepared, to get warnings. They don't have to be waking up by anything. It's just so much better. Yeah, we'll see. I'm hoping if it goes well and I get some good footage, I will be making a long-term like video. It will be a good like full, basically documentary video, but it will be released within a couple days. Like I'll make it quick, guys. So if I get a good footage and stuff, I will 100% be making a pretty in-depth chase recap video that is somewhat like my documentaries within the like couple days after it. So that might delay my March 5th video. I will say that though, but I will upload it still afterwards. Yeah, tomorrow has a wide open ceiling. Tomorrow's ceiling is completely wide open. You could have EF3 to EF4 strength, I'm thinking. That's why double significant is definitely possible tomorrow. I think we could see our first ever double significant. Definitely double significant hail risk. I think they'll do that tonight. I think the double significant hail. I don't think they'll do double significant tornado tonight because there's a little too much uncertainty on the tornado potential. But I do think 100% if it looks like it's uptrending, they will do a double significant for the like 1 p or what is it, noon update or 3 p.m. I guess even if it's a later in the evening event, it could be the 3 p.m. one. But yeah, I'm excited. I hope that I get some good footage. Even if it's a good supercell, I'll probably make some sort of video. So I'm just hoping. I really want to get some footage and some like B-roll footage and everything so I can make like a really fun video for you guys because I've been wanting to make some chase videos recently. I've been getting antsy towards actually making chase videos instead of just documentaries right now. So we'll see what happens, and we'll go from there. I'm gonna go to Galesburg. That's my current plan at the moment. Let me go check Omega here. Go back to this. As you can see, the warm front's setting right along this little north of I-80. I think it'll end up being on I-80-ish, maybe a little south. A lot of miles are showing further south. It is basically boom or bust. But I'm thinking Galesburg, between Galesburg, Peoria, Knoxville areas, this area right around here, this is decent terrain throughout this region, so I'd be pretty content with being around there. Um, that's where I hope the most significant stuff happens tomorrow. I really don't want to mess around with Peoria. It'd be a big, big, big pain. I know. I got those 5 members. I still could give 5 more out. So if you guys want to get those 5 more, I don't know, get back to 50 or even more. I don't know. I have no idea. Eureka, that's a good one because then you're east of Peoria so far. I could think about going there too, but I'm thinking Galesburg started out. I'm going to go to Burlington pretty early, like quite early. And then from Burlington, depending on what everything says, I'll probably go to Galesburg. And then it depends on what that says, and then I'll probably go to Eureka or Roanoke or Pontiac next after that. But we'll see what happens. I'm going to look at a lot of stuff on observations the morning of. Go look at the wrap one more time. It looked quite juiced, and its placement was pretty accurate now, I'd say. It's starting to move back north. It's starting to follow a lot of these other ones. Wrap's a lot better day of. It's a little too far out probably to use the wrap for my liking, really. But it's not the worst. It's usually just not Central Canada. It's usually just not as reliable because it doesn't really forecast those smaller scale details like the cams do. If I lived in Kansas City, I'd probably do the same thing. I'd probably drive over to Quincy or wherever, and then I'd probably go from Quincy and then go up. Yeah, if you're coming from the north, that makes for sure definite sense. But yeah, this environment right around this region on the wrap is quite incredible. And this is only, what is this? This is 3 or 4 p.m. It's 3 or 4 p.m. It's already showing 4200 cape, and this cap is almost eroded on the wrap at this point. I mean, if this happens, this wrap run happens, we will have tornadoes by 5 p.m. or 6 p.m. because this is for 4 p.m. Central Time. And if you have that much cap erosion and that high a cape and everything like that, you're going to get tornadoes by 5 or 6 p.m. in this area. Yeah, this is, oh, sorry, I was looking at 0Z. This is the next run. And man, there's just no cap left, 4300 cape, and you just barely have a little bit of capping inversion, and it should be able to be overcome for the most part. Tiny warm nose, but nothing that can't be overcome as well. Your wind barbs are much better on the wrap, obviously, and almost 203 cape, which is kind of ridiculous in itself. If you had a storm on this, you have 5 to 10. You could have 5 to 10 tornadoes on that thing. I mean, it's insane. Yeah, 4 p.m. or 5 p.m. in CDT time, having that much cape at 22Z is insane. I mean, I don't even know how to explain how crazy that is for March 10th. This isn't even like March 31st. This is March 10th. I don't even know how to, like, this is a incredibly rare event for this time of year. It really feels like it's going to be a June or like a May or June event, and it's just insane. 70-degree dew points? I mean, what? That's unheard of. We got 43 people here again, guys. Bowling Green, I'd probably go to Bloomington, I'd say. I'd probably go to Bloomington if I was from Bowling Green, because that's a pretty north shot. You got to go east to Evansville and then go Mount Vernon. Yeah, I'd say Bloomington would be where I'd go if I was from Bowling Green. Bowling Green, Kentucky. Because I know there's a Bowling Green, is it Illinois? Maybe there's not. I can't remember. For some reason I thought there was a Bowling Green, Kentucky as well. Yeah, I saw that. It actually does show a firing for the 3K, which never ever happens. I need to go look at the longer run of it now that it's more loaded in. Oh, Bowling Green, Missouri. That's what I meant. I'd probably do the same thing. It's in your St. Louis area. Oh yeah, there it is. It's a pretty impressive looking thing. FE3 was insane. I just showed you guys the FE3, and it is almost insane. Like, this is completely ridiculous. I mean, you're getting this storm to fire right here. It's in an insane environment south of the warm front. This would be producing a violent tornado or two, if it actually comes to fruition. Wow, we got 52 people here, guys. Thank you all for tuning in as always, and I don't know what number we need to get to for me to give away 5 members. Maybe 75, 100. I don't know. If we can actually get there, I'll give 5 more away to you guys. Otherwise, I'll probably give 5 more away maybe tomorrow, or it could be the next live stream, like night before live stream I do. But if we get to 75 or 100, I 100% will send out 5 more. So that's on you guys, I guess. Tell everybody you know to watch the thing and everything. Yeah, this FE3 is pretty ridiculous. I would not take any look at this. I'm just looking at it. I agree. The 3K is pretty. Yeah, FE3 is okay for placement. There's some times when the FE3 is quite off. Like, I've had some pretty crazy encounters with the FE3 when it's like shot off way to the weird portions of the FE. I don't even know. I don't even know how to explain it. But I've also had some times when the FE3's done fairly well. The RRFS actually, I would say has fairly decent placement for the most part. It just is a little too bullish as well. It way over exaggerates everything because it's FE3 core, to be fair. So not really surprised. I wonder, actually, you know what? The RFS, just because of the FE3 showing all that, I wonder if it's going to have a blob of supercells right here in the afternoon hours as well. Yeah, almost 60 people here, guys. That's definitely by far the most I've ever had on one of these coverage streams or pre-coverage streams. So I appreciate it, guys. Yeah, Galesburg is where I'm going to go. That's my first target area, as I show you guys. To the northeast of Galesburg looks pretty rough. Looks like some sort of state park. Must be. It must be Brentwood State Park. I don't know. It doesn't say for sure, but that is what it is. I can go north of there and it'll be fine. But yeah, I'm thinking Galesburg area to start out in the early afternoon, and then from there I'll go probably to the east if I need to, or I'll be sitting in Galesburg all day. Go see if there's anything fun to do in Galesburg. It's probably a Walmart. Looks pretty big. Regional airport. Culver's. I'm assuming there's a Walmart since it's a Culver's. That's kind of a big place to have to not have a Walmart. I like how I'm searching right now in the town. I don't see it. I'll figure it out when I go there. It's right by Knoxville as well. That's another decent sized town. But a lot of this area is not too bad a terrain. But yeah, March 6th. I went all the way over to this portion of Kansas right up here on the 6th, and it didn't do much at all. Yeah, and the most ironic part about this whole thing is that I have a Walmart in my town. I was just thinking something quick to do because then I go to the store or whatever. That's a big interchange for that. Oh, it's a railway. Oh my, that's a big railway. That's a big old train depot. I got a lot of stuff. I got a little bit of stuff in this town. George Washington Gale House. I don't know what that means, but I don't know. It's a historical monument. Judy's Family Cafe. Arby's. El Ranchero. Got an AMC movie theater even. Either way, this warm front could be it could be very potent, or it could be very much a hail threat later in the evening. So there's a couple different ways tomorrow could go. Right now, I really am leaning towards the Hail threat in the evening, but it could change pretty quickly. By about, I'd say by about noon, we'll kind of have a good grasp on if stuff's gonna fire. The HRRR will start showing stuff that fires up. I don't know. I wouldn't say that, especially for the northern threat. Actually, for the southern threat, I'd say that was fine. I'd say everything was okay, but uh, probably not for Illinois or for Kansas. Nothing up here. There was not a single tornado. Actually, sorry, there was one tornado. Union City, I think it's probably low end EF4. I would say. Some of the damage looked definitely like EF4 level. I could see it being EF3 staying, but I think it could be 170. I would not be mad if it wasn't 170, but I also wouldn't be mad if it was. It's very much a borderline tornado. It's one of those borderline kind of tornadoes, kind of like the St. Louis one. You got those borderline significant ones that could be either way. I don't know. I already have started kind of like writing a mini script for that thing. I wrote the intro. I'm gonna start adding information. I'm not gonna upload the video for at least a month probably. Could be quicker. We'll see what information comes out, but it probably will be at least a month. But I will be making a video on that tornado. I have tons of the footage and stuff already ready. I'm going to ask all the people for it right away, and we're going to have a good in-depth video within the next month or two. So I will have a solid video. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. 160 is probably a very fair estimate. Nah, that stinks. Just a little bit late. It happens sometimes. I've been late to events. That's the worst. The worst feeling is being late because that means you had the right target, you had the right idea, you knew where to go, and it just didn't get there in time, and you're still driving all that way, and it's like, being late is probably the worst feeling in chasing. Probably the worst by far. Got 60 people. We've kind of been hovering around 60. If we can get up to 75 to 100, I would give 5 more memberships away. So also don't forget to like and subscribe if you're new here. Maybe if we hit 100 likes, I don't know what would be easier, 100 likes or 100 concurrent people. I'd say probably likes because we're at 64 right now. So if we get to 100 likes, I'll give away 5 more. The warm front's pretty big. I don't know. I don't think we're getting something that far off, kind of like Union City. I think Union City was a little too far off probably for tomorrow because it's not that big of a warm front in comparison to the other day. So I don't think we're gonna get something like that unexpected. I think our most unexpected would be somewhere like here-ish. I don't think we're gonna get anything like super far away. Because if you look at this warm front, you got like a little warm front here and you got a little bit over here. Which this one really doesn't show anything to the further east, which is also 19C, so it's kind of early. This is only 2 p.m. 2 p.m. That is kind of late actually. This is showing initiation at 2 p.m. I think that's just north of the warm front though, if I'm looking. That's kind of along the warm front. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking. I'm gonna be in Galesburg by about 2 or 3 as well, so we'll see what happens. Oh, I need to look at Texas. Once this the Rufus model lows, I will show up Texas, and I will show you guys the threat for Texas tomorrow. So that'll happen after I get a little more loaded in on this one. I just want to see the Rufus model quick. Getting close to full initiation here. This is showing a storm. It does look just north of the front though. It's hard to tell if some of these are latched. It's close. If it's not latched, it's very close to be. I could see something happening near Kirksville. It could be later in the evening, but I could see something happening. This is a ridiculous sounding, guys. 28, 28 knot storm motion. Look at this this wind barb graph right here. That's ridiculously high. Not as much cape, which that doesn't matter when you got these kinematics here. Kirksville area could see some hail. I'd say that would be the main threat over there. There's still tornado potential in that region, but I don't really foresee anything too crazy happening. Yeah, I'm saying this is in the warm sector as well. It's just south of it, but it is in the warm sector to be, uh, in all fairness. So if we really get stuff to form at 3 p.m., that'd be insane because this could go for hours and hours. I think by 5 p.m. is a ridiculous, or not a ridiculous number, not a ridiculous number, or time period for storms to fire. Let's see what the WRF is, like you said. Yeah, I also am 90% sure it is very close to the. If it's not, it's quite convincing. Here's, I like when they just become circles on this. Now it doesn't look as much, but I think it still is. I think it's right along there. But I'm still looking back further west where we've got a better environment in place, right around here. We've got a lot better of an environment further to the west, which, I mean, look at this. This is quite an impressive 3600 cape, huge curved hodograph, 33 knot storm motion. That's pretty solid. Lots and lots of SRH, 200, 160, 173 cape. I mean, this is where you want to be for the environment, you know? Even if a storm tends to fire up further to the east, you might want to be here, um, because it just could be better for tornado potential. I agree. The updraft is in the warm sector on that. That's insane. Oh, there it is. Yeah, it's starting to move south then. This would be a pain. It's starting to get close to the metro region of Chicago. And this is starting to be 5 p.m. and then we'll see what 6 p.m. I just, this is what I'm looking for is over here. This is insane though. If this actually happens, then it probably will ride this warm front. But I'll be around this region, so I'll just follow with it. If this happens, I will follow with it through the evening and afternoon hours. But see what happens on the next run. I assume we'll start to see some convection over here. I see some little blips. Sometimes that does mean it's going to show some more storms on the next one. Here we go. See what 23Z shows. Nope, nothing yet. So the Rufus is not firing early in the day. Exactly. Yes, it does stay along the warm front. It does avoid the metro, which is the most important thing here, for especially for chasing. But overall, I mean, think about how many people are in that Chicago metro area to the south. You don't want that to happen at all. Wow, look at this sounding. That's a high precipitation supercell. Look how high precipitation this is. You got poor venting because it all goes out back into it. You got great low level spin, but look at this. I mean, these are pretty saturated mid levels. These are saturated low levels for the most part. Not be very fun to be chasing this thing because I mean you're gonna have huge, strong tornadoes. They're gonna be just wrapped in rain. Yeah, 67 people in here. That's a lot of people, guys. I appreciate that. Oh, there, there we go. That's what I was looking for. Now everything fires. Every single thing fires. What's along the warm front? This one seems to be along the. I don't know. That's north of it. This one along it? That one's along it. That's south of the warm front. This storm south of the warm front. This one's north of it. That one's north of it. There's one storm to the south of it on this run. Someone clip that. Someone's got to clip that reaction because I literally just like, oh man, it went from being nothing to just boom because I knew it was gonna fire, but I didn't think it was gonna do this. This is a pretty decent environment where the storm just fired up. Ew, that's an ugly looking sounding. Oh, it's because it's in a weird spot. That's some straight photographs. A lot of streamwise on that thing. That's quite a streamwise photograph. Ew, it's not very. I don't know what's wrong with it. I think it's just bugging out or something. Which, I mean, look at this. And then it all just blobs up. Look at this. It's so stupid looking. Look at how much precipitation just shows up within a matter of minutes. Okay, this would be a problem, guys. I'm not gonna lie. Look at this storm. It tracks all the way from is that Galesburg? Uh, hold on. Yeah, Galesburg. Sorry, from Galesburg all the way over to at this point it is in almost Lafayette, Indiana. Like that's ridiculous. If something actually fires like that, I mean, you could see 20 tornadoes on that thing, which is insane. Hey, thanks for becoming a new subscriber. I appreciate you for tuning in and liking and subscribing. I'll be live tomorrow chasing this threat, but currently we're just kind of looking at everything. Yeah, this is insane. It's weird. I don't know why it does the straight weird photographs on the Rufus only. But anyways, this storm would be incredible to chase if this one actually happens. This Galesburg to wherever this ends up being would be quite a chase. Look at that. And it rides that warm front the whole time. So I think Galesburg's a pretty solid start, if I'm being 100% honest. I think I'll probably definitely start out there. I'll be there around noon, probably. I might be there super early. Honestly, probably. These aren't going to be short-lived tornadoes. These are long looping photographs that are going to just produce long-lived tornadoes. And I mean, early on you might get some weaker tornadoes, but look at that. Once you get to this later section, this is going to be long, rain-wrapped, big tornadoes. But yeah, I don't know. This could be a big day. I'm excited. We'll see what happens. I will be setting in Galesburg, and I'll decide from there tomorrow when we get to the area. How many likes we got now? 79, guys. We got 64 people on here. I appreciate everybody for watching, and we are getting close to that like goal. If we get to that like goal, like I said, I will give away 5 more memberships. But we have currently 65 people on here. That's definitely by far the most I've ever had on one of these coverage streams. '81 likes, guys. We're getting close. Getting quite close. See what happens. If we can get a couple more likes, we're gonna have a chance. We'll get those. I'll give away 5 more memberships. That's the deal. Let me grab my. I'm gonna plug in my phone real quick. Feels like it's about to die. 17 more likes, guys. That's all we gotta hit. 73 people. I'm currently in Centerville right now. The ARW has convection. Let me go check that out. Oh yeah, it does. It does show convection. Wow, this is pretty similar to the HRRR. Guys, this is pretty. We're starting to get a little bit of model consistency, if I'm being honest. I mean, we look at this. Let me switch between model runs, guys. This is starting to look like a lot more consistency. We're getting 0Z initiation on a lot of these models. Like HRRR's firing, ARW's firing in the same area, FE3's firing in the same area. NSSL is not quite firing in the same area, but the next run I think it is. Yeah, see the next run it is. FE3, I mean, look at all these model runs that are starting to fire. Impasse is a little different. Impasse, that one's also a little different. That one's completely different. Completely different. 3K is always going to be completely different. Our Rufus is the same. We got the RRFS, which is the same. The HER, that's the same. The ARW, that's the same. The FE3, that's the same. That's a lot of the models. The NSSL is fairly similar, but we've got a little bit of consistency here, guys. That starts to become interesting when we get initiation at 7 o'clock right along the boundary. Hey, thanks for liking and subscribing. I appreciate that. Welcome to the channel. We're getting very close to 17,000 subscribers. Let me check on my phone how many we're at. We're getting pretty close to 17,000. I don't think we'll hit it tonight. I think tomorrow there's a definite chance that we could. Yeah, we need quite a few more. We need 23 more. So probably not tonight, but I'd say tomorrow we'll have a really good chance of hitting 17,000. I appreciate that all, guys, and hopefully I can get some tornadoes footage and stuff for you guys tomorrow in Galesburg area. Yeah, these models are starting to like really start to agree along 7 or 6 to 7. Sorry. Oh man. Uh, Let me just say the evening hours of tomorrow night could have the potential for some supercells near the Galesburg and northwest of Peoria area. We'll see though. A lot of things can change. We could have some cloud cover that could completely throw a wrench into this, or they always say flies in the ointment. I don't know. I don't even know what that means. Whoops. Yeah, that was not on purpose, by the way. That was completely unscripted, unfortunately. And yeah, feel free to clip that one as well, because oh, we currently have 67 viewers too, so perfect timing, guys. Yeah, man, getting too old for these jokes. Anyways, we got a nice looking supercell on the HRRR, and a couple of these other models are showing similar. The Rufus is showing just a chonker. I don't know what I should call it. Chunky, chonk, big, sup. I don't know. I I don't even know what's going on anymore. Lake County will have a chance. They will definitely have a chance within the evening hours. If this supercell does seem to like actually intensify like it looks like it's supposed to do, it could do it. Yeah, I like to make jokes all the time still too. That's quite similar to the her. Look at the RRFS and the her. They're almost identical. The Rufus just shows a little earlier and a little tiny bit further west, but man, they're quite similar, which is not very often seen. That's weird. Huh. I don't know. They're quite similar though, I will say that. Oh boy. Hey, happy early birthday, Jeff. Oh boy, here we go. Oh boy, here we go, guys. We're about to look at the updraft helicity tracks. Just went over by there. There's a couple weird ones. Oh my gosh. If this happens, this Super Patrol would be insane. No, it will not happen now. Does this basically change the outlooks? The CT was wondering. No, they change it. They actually they don't do anything different. They keep the exact timing that they used to have. They just everything's an hour later. All right, we're finally gonna look at Texas. All right, guys, here we go. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. I will be out in Illinois. I don't know where yet, but we'll be somewhere. We're gonna go look at Texas now. I don't have as much skin in this game, but I'd still like to see what's going on. There's a couple supercells trying to fire up here. Oh boy, yeah, look at this. There's a couple isolated supercells. Let me go check out what this shows for. Wow, look at this photograph. That is quite negative tilted too. Look at that. Look at the backed winds blowing into this thing. Wow. That's quite a kinematic profile. The thermodynamic profile is like kind of weak, but I mean, you're not going to need anything crazy with that environment that's in place. This supercell looks kind of like it could be a front of a boundary or something. Yeah, this one's, I don't think this one's going to be as. Is there some sort of boundary? Yeah, that's why. It looked like it was riding on the northern side of a boundary, so I don't think that'll be anything other than hail. But if that supercell happens, look at that. This could be multiple hours of one little supercell just riding along in front of this boundary and just, man, look at this kinematic profile. Outrageous. And it goes for multiple hours. It forms at about 7 p.m. and it goes till like, it gets finally eaten up by about 11. So could be a major threat for down there as well. But a lot of these other areas, I still think that Illinois will be the main threat, but there definitely could be a strong tornado in this Texas region throughout the later hours of tomorrow afternoon and evening. Storm motion speed looks to be about 35 knots, so about similar. It's pretty similar. There could be a lot of QLCS tornadoes after the main threat, especially just looking around like down here in in Texas, and even into Mexico region. You've got a lot of embedded supercell kind of structures in this run here. Let's go look at the Rufus model. We all love the Rufus model. Always shows Doomsday. Yeah, here's your Doomsday. It's showing the similar thing. It shows a little supercell like that. But it's just insane. Here we go. Let's go see what the updraft helicity tracks look like. It always shows intense updraft helicity tracks. It's so funny. Rockford, I think Rockford will be a little too far north of anything to actually have tornado potential, I will say. Hail, maybe. I don't think it will, but it could. Um, nah, I don't really think there'll be anything too much in Rockford. We're at 90 likes, guys. Only 10 more, and I'll give away 5 more memberships. So if you guys can do that, I'm gonna sign off in about 4 minutes. So you guys have 4 minutes to get 9 likes now. So I'm just gonna say that, guys. So if you want potential for another membership giveaway, 7 likes, guys. We're only 7 likes away, and I'll give 5 more memberships away. They're only a month long, but I'm gonna try to give them away every month or so, so you guys can maybe even get a recycle of it every couple months. But we're only 7 likes away, guys. 6, only 6 likes away. We're getting there closer. We're gonna go look at just one last couple thing here. Like I mentioned before, some of the terrain around this region is pretty decent. Knoxville, Tennessee, Wednesday night. Let me go look at that. I mean, I'm not looking at too much right now, so it doesn't hurt for me to go look for you here. Tennessee. I don't know. Let's see. Let me check something really quick. Okay, I don't know if this is the best. Yeah, this will work. Well, let's go look around here. You said Wednesday night, so this will be the evening hours of Wednesday. Looks like there could be some thunderstorms later in the evening. So, yeah, Wednesday looks pretty dead for severe weather now. It's kind of gone away. But I'd say probably not Knoxville too much of anything. Maybe some lightning chance later in the evening, but nothing tornadic for sure. Maybe some little bit of wind threat. I don't know. 2 more likes, guys, and then we will be giving away 5 more memberships. So only 2 likes. That's pretty close actually. One more like, one singular more like, and I will be giving away 5 more memberships this month to 5 random people. So if you wanna, well, I guess we got to get one more like, and then I'll tell you what you guys have to do first. We got 100 likes, guys. So I will be giving away 5 more memberships for this month. If you want to have the potential to actually get something, you will want to comment in the comments and then in the chat. If you talk in the chat more, it does give you a better potential to get the actual memberships because it just chooses 5 people that talk a decent amount. It doesn't pick the 5 most likely, like the most talkative ones, but it takes that into account. So we're gonna end the stream with this. So I'm gonna go check and see if there's anything else I need to look at. I don't think there is. So we'll end it out on this kind of thing, and I will send out these memberships pretty soon. So I'll give you guys a couple seconds or so to send the last couple messages here. Yeah, for the most part, Iowa should stay calm, I will say. Thanks, Jeff. I appreciate that. I should be able to. It should be a fairly decent, shouldn't be a too hard of a chase day. It'll be a little fast moving for the most part, but it won't be insane. And it's decent terrain, so it should be a good different chase day here. There'll be a lot of people, so that's different. Moderate risk. I'd say moderate risk. We've got. I don't give a high chance unless it's hail driven. I don't really think there's a high chance right now that it's 15%. But let's see. I'm gonna read some other comments here. Craziest YouTube experience you've had being a weather YouTuber. I'm trying to think if I have any really funny things to say about YouTube or weather stuff. I had some weird comments before. I don't know. I'd have to look through that. I'll let you guys know sometime when I do this next time. I will be streaming the chase on both the Radar Omega app and on YouTube. Thanks for the good luck. Germany, that's pretty far away, so I appreciate you for tuning in. You got your friend in Rockford, you said. Rockford it'll be close to potential, but I think it'll be a little too far north. In Peoria, I will go live. Okay, yeah, thank you. I will go live probably around 3 p.m. and I'll probably go from Galesburg area, so we'll see what happens. So we're gonna give away these 5 memberships right now. All right, guys, you guys ready? 3, 2, 1. Good luck, everybody. All right, there's our 5 memberships. Don't worry if you didn't get them. You can, well, first of all, you can always buy one for $1 a month. So if you want to become a member, like a true member, it's always $1 a month. So And also, I will be giving away more at some point, so don't worry about that. I will definitely give more of those out. But anyways, I do appreciate you all for tuning in, as always, and I will see you guys in the live stream tomorrow. If you tune in, I'll be live around 3ish p.m. both on the Radar Omega app and the YouTube app. If you haven't already and you don't have the Radar Omega app, I highly recommend it. There's a great app for everything, models, radar, everything in between. I recommend it. If you want or are interested in the app, go into my description and click the link below, and that takes you to the website to download it. I think it's like $9 or so. It's definitely worth your money. I really enjoy using the Radar Omega app, and I have used it for years, and they contacted me to become a chaser for them, and I was like 100% wanted to do that. So, anyways, they definitely helped me out with getting on chases and helps me to be able to go and chase a lot more. So, definitely check out their app. Click the link in the description. Even if you already have it, make sure to click the link in the description just if you want some more information. Their website's also listed down there. And yeah, I appreciate you all. I'll be on the Max Velocity stream as well. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. That's another big one. Oh yeah, if I get some good footage, even if it's just structure, 100% will make a video for you guys, like a long form, nice, decent content video for you guys. But yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow on the live stream about 3 o'clock. I'll be in about Galesburg, Illinois-ish area. But yeah, see you guys in the next one. Thank you all for watching.